talking about wife supposed to be watching your six, right? But how can she watch your six if she's not supposed to have an opinion, or she's supposed to just blindly follow what you say? So, again, I think the issue in terms of what mistaken is asking is that a lot of men interpret that the wrong way. A lot of women, especially if she's made it to the point to being wife, she's not questioning things to question things or to, knock you off the pedestal of leadership. She's questioning it because you ain't done a well enough job of explaining to her how this shit is gonna go, or showing her the GPS. And doesn't make you a beta, doesn't make you less masculine because you're showing your partner that's watching your six the GPS of where we're going, right? But let a lot of these men in this space tell it that's exactly what that is. So I feel like that's where the issue comes in, that men think of women, a lot of men think of women as just possessions. You're just supposed to, like a utility. You're supposed to serve a purpose whenever I need it. Sex,
Like when they say a challenge, women challenge him all the time, but like in terms of educated women, do you think it's really about challenge or because they question? Because I think those are two different things. Like one thing that you do learn, like you were saying earlier, Trill, is that you go to college. It expounds your mind. It expounds the way that you think. It teaches you to question. Don't take things at face value. Just you learn all of those things. So do you think men are seeing that as a challenge as opposed to questioning? Because I don't think there's anything wrong with questioning,
yeah, I
especially
think
when you
that,
have clarity and understanding of something.
yeah, again, I think that a lot of men are interpreting that wrong, right? They'll come on these panels and they'll say, yeah, my woman is supposed to provide counsel. Well, think about providing counsel, right? So a lot of time, the counsel that's provided, it's not going to necessarily be in line with what it is that you want to do, right? So when that's the case, do you villainize her for providing the counsel that you said that you look for in a woman, right? Raising the question and things of that nature. A lot of men just want to be, they want women to submit to them blindly. They want you to just do what I say because I'm a man. Like, fuck my resume, fuck what I haven't accomplished or what I haven't completed, or the fact that I got multiple kids out here, multiple baby mamas, and I'm halfway in their life and different shit like that, or the fact that I went out there and got my degree, but I have no social skills, so I can't talk to women and I don't necessarily know how to communicate. Fuck all that. I'm a man, right? And me being a man, you're just supposed to subscribe and you're supposed to jump on ship and just follow what it is that I say. So whenever you raise a question or anything like that, which again, what somebody that's counseling you should be doing, because we as men, even the ones that are accomplished, even the ones that are educated, even the ones that have the resume, we don't get it right all the time. Right. But that's why you have a solid woman in your corner to say, hey, baby, I know, you know what I'm saying? I looked at the GPS. It looked like you want to turn left, but hey, I know a little shortcut. I was around here a couple weeks ago. You might want to go right. There's some construction going on over there, baby. I just want to throw it out there. And just her giving you that intel does not make her masculine, or does not make her not willing to submit to the program. She's just giving you a different side of it that you're not looking at. Your wife, and again, girlfriends and things of that nature, that's a separate discussion. You're talking about wife supposed to be watching your six, right? But how can she watch your six if she's not supposed to have an opinion, or she's supposed to just blindly follow what you say? So, again, I think the issue in terms of what mistaken is asking is that a lot of men interpret that the wrong way. A lot of women, especially if she's made it to the point to being wife, she's not questioning things to question things or to, knock you off the pedestal of leadership. She's questioning it because you ain't done a well enough job of explaining to her how this shit is gonna go, or showing her the GPS. And doesn't make you a beta, doesn't make you less masculine because you're showing your partner that's watching your six the GPS of where we're going, right? But let a lot of these men in this space tell it that's exactly what that is. So I feel like that's where the issue comes in, that men think of women, a lot of men think of women as just possessions. You're just supposed to, like a utility. You're supposed to serve a purpose whenever I need it. Sex, have my kids, stay out the way.
And to
That's
add to
just
that,
not realistic.
But
And
again, why wouldn't they just date the women who are not? I mean, if there's so many women who aren't educated, why don't they just date those women?
but she wasn't asking about education though. She was asking about the woman that's asking a question. Like a woman doesn't have
Right. Well, I associated that with educated women because that's what I hear a lot about, is that educated women don't want to listen. They don't, it was a negative connotation with educated women. and them not letting the man lead. And I think that was my point, in that I think sometimes there's a misunderstanding of women questioning to get a better understanding, or even just just understand, okay, or wanting to know your method or what have you. Not It's not even about whether or not she trusts you or not. Sometimes, like me, I know I'm an inquisitive person, so I'm going to ask the why, just because I want to know. That's how I learn. So some men may take that as me, not submitting, or that I'm challenging, and I'm not. I want to know, because if, as a partner, when you have two heads operate better than one. So even sharing what you're intending to do, there may be some aspects of something. Oh, I just read about such and such. Did you think about this? That's why I want to know, because I'm going to ask questions, and sometimes it's questions that he may not have even thought about, and be like, oh, you know what? I didn't even think about that. You're right. Let me, do whatever. And so, but I think men take that as a woman challenging them. And I don't think that they should.
Well, it all depends on intent, right? Like if a woman is asking a question, what's her intent? Like is she asking from a good place? Because what I mean by that is she asking from because she's bothered, she's upset, she doesn't like, how is she asking this question about where are we going? Like, you don't know where you're going? Like, what we doing here? Like that type of confrontational question is different from, hey, can you explain to me? Like, I see on, like Trill gave the example, like I see on the GPS, this is where we're supposed to be going, but it looks like we're not on that path. Like, those are two different conversations. So just saying I asked the question doesn't mean that she asked it in an intent, with the intentionality to be productive, right? She could be questioning his leadership from a negative perspective. Now, if she's questioning his leadership from, like, we all have bosses, we all had bosses before. If we're asking them from a position of actually wanting to know so that I can better understand where we're going, then that's different than saying, listen, bro, like, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, that's a totally different question. So
Got you.
I would say that it depends on it depends on the situation. But if we so, like in my situation with my late wife Jen, like when I put a plan together and I said we're gonna do X, Y, and Z, she would ask me questions. She would say, well, I don't know about that. That doesn't really make sense to me. Can you explain that to me? Right? Even with the lady that I'm dating now, I gave her a plan. She's like, I don't know about that. What about this? Right? So it's about communication at the end of the day. And if you say it's two heads are better than one, that's true, but there got to be a leader.